What's going to be on the market's mind before I take it across to our experts, Swarup Mohanty as well as Sunil Subramaniam. Niku, just a quick take. The Sebi classification or reclassification of the definition of multi-cap funds, the fact that they will have to park 25% funds into large cap stocks, 25 into mid cap, and then 25% into small cap schemes. And then the clarification from Sebi coming in yesterday as to the intention behind this move. Now saying that ensure multi-cap schemes are true to their mandate or else merge with other schemes. I'm wondering whether this is going to bring about a huge amount of inflows into mid and small cap stocks now.
Asha, on Friday evening when the news came out, the first reaction was that it's going to be a complete re-rating movement for small and mid-cap stocks because the definition of mid-cap would be changed. Now, Sebi came out with a note or Sebi came out with an indication that they're cognizant of the compulsions of the market, they're cognizant of what the flows are and what the schemes are, and there is going to be a consideration. I mean, that's what Sebi has clearly hinted, that there is going to be in consideration. Now, on Friday evening, on Sunday afternoon, it appeared that there is going to be a mad rush into small and mid-cap stocks, and all kind of numbers and opinions were floating around that, look, this is going to be a complete re-rating moment for small and mid-cap stocks. That may not happen. However, what may happen, I think, is that some funds may convert their schemes. We'll talk to two CEOs right now, right after this opening comment of ours. Some funds may decide to not convert their schemes and increase their exposure to mid and small cap stocks. So unlike what the numbers earlier were, from 25 to 35,000 crore of flows coming into mid and small cap stocks, that number may be slightly small. That number may not be all that large. So instead of 50 stocks, maybe 10-15 stocks will get re-rated. But I think that some flows will come into mid and small cap stocks. But from a viewer standpoint, they must consider the following, which is that the change will happen in a matter of 5 to 6 months. So it's not that Monday morning there is going to be a change. This is going to be a slow and a gradual process. And yes, it will lead to some degree of re-rating for some of the stocks, not all, some of the stocks which are dominated by institutional investors. Not everything in the small cap space is going to go up. Not everything in the mid cap space will go up. I think it is very evident that Sebi will come out with some relaxation. So earlier what came on Friday versus now, there is going to be a change. But what should our viewers do? Well, don't get trapped. Please don't buy junk stocks. Please don't buy those stocks just because you think there's going to be a frenzy and there is going to be a mad rush into mid and small cap stocks. So unlike what the news came on Friday, looks like Sebi is going to come with something different. But I would request, beg, or in this case even warn our viewers, don't get trapped in buying small and mid cap stocks which have got no fundamentals. It's not going to be a rising tide phenomenon. Aisha?
Sure. Okay. Let me also bring on board Swarup Mohanty as well as Sunil Subramaniam too to join in this debate. Gentlemen, hi, morning. Good to have you both on the show. Sunil, as much excitement in your voice as was the case on Friday night after yesterday's Sebi's clarification coming in, or has that excitement a little bit fizzled out because it's not really that bazooka moment which one thought on Friday evening for mid and small caps anymore?
No, I remain excited. I'll tell you why. Because when you're not going to have that quantum of 28,000 crores chasing small cap is clear. Because clearly a few of the larger multi-cap funds are going to look to recategorize themselves or merge themselves into large cap. Because the essential thought of those fund managers was to be large cap intensive, and the customers who bought into it were with that intention. That being said, not all of the industry is going to do that. So there will be definitely some amount of multi-caps remaining multi-caps in the new frame, and hence some demand for small and mid-cap stocks will rise, and that will mean that a fund manager can go and choose quality without a mad mania putting up every penny stock and every stock on it and making things life difficult and expensive. So I think this is actually good because there definitely be some increase, because not every one of the 30-odd funds, multi-cap funds, are going to convert into large and mid or this. So there will be some amount which remains with this where they have to increase the small cap and mid cap allocation. For example, in our fund house, we have a 600 crore size multi-cap fund recently launched. We are in the process of consulting with our partners, distributors and investors on with way forward. But given our expertise in small and mid cap, right, for us to add on that kind of a good quality mid and small caps to the fund is not going to be a problem. So it's only about the fact that, one, that a flexi cap manner in which a multi-cap was managed is history now. There's no more flexibility there. The second is, investors who chose that category because it was large cap oriented will now look to either wait for that fund to say, yes, clearly I'm going to large and mid cap or large cap, or they will like to switch to a large cap fund. Either way, it's fine for the industry, it's healthy, but there will definitely be, while I agree with Nikun saying there's no mad mania, but there will be definitely increased interest in good quality small and mid cap to the extent that some funds continue to remain multi-cap. So I remain excited because the value and quality of mid caps will get recognized by the market.
We're trying to bring out, not everything will get re-rated, but yes, this is going to be a good turning point for markets, and now the ability of the fund managers to generate superior returns by buying good stocks, I think, will certainly come out. Sunil Subramaniam, what is your take? We spoke to you on Friday, the scenario was different. Now looks like what Sebi is hinting is that there could be some consideration and some dilution. Net effect, where do you think markets will move now?
No, I even the other day, Nikun, if you see my article was headlined by y'all in ET.com as saying large caps will not see sharp correction. And I think my point has been proved right. I don't think the large caps will see a sharp correction because unlike 41,000 crores expected to flow out of large caps, that's going to be a much smaller number. To the extent of fund house mergers, it will be an inter-scheme transfer within its fund. It doesn't need to come into the market. So I stand by my stand that large caps will not necessarily see a very sharp correction. There will be some bit of flow there. Enough adequate demand for large caps exists from both domestic fund houses as well as from FII, so not an issue. And on mid caps and small caps, yes, the other day the immediate reaction was that there will be a huge buying. Now there will be more quality oriented buying, and I think my basic view from that day to today doesn't change, except that Sebi has shown itself to be quite proactive and addressing over the weekend any market concerns on this mania and bringing out a press release which puts the thing in perspective. So I think Sebi has played a great role in calming the markets here.
Great point. The regulator here has been really proactive. They understood that because of the changes which they announced on Friday, a lot of mania or a lot of excitement would have started in the small and the mid cap stocks on Monday morning. So what they are saying is that, look, hold on. We are aware of the market. It's a process. You have to give some time, and we are open to listening to market participants who have been saying that Indian markets cannot absorb that kind of in small and mid cap liquidity. Swarup, what is your sense on what will essentially now happen to the future of small and mid cap funds and large cap funds, considering that if some funds really decide to merge multi-cap schemes?
Good morning, Nikunj. I think thank you for having me on the show. I think the real discussion here is about the multi-cap category and the fact that what the underlying was broadly large cap. And the fact remains that, between the two categories, that is the large cap and the multi-cap, there was hardly any difference at all. And hence there was this need to make it true to label. Of course, the second sort of clarification made it even more clear that there is no scope of any discussion on this. And this 25% per category or capitalization remains. Yes, now it is up to the fund houses to sort of go back to the drawing boards and decide what they will do with the respective funds. Our view from day one has been that there is hardly any difference between the two categories. So we had kept one fund in both the categories and named it large cap only. Now, of course, it is a 1,40,000 crore category. It's not a small category, and the impact will have to be seen. And what came out in the second clarification was pretty elaborate that, it's not just changing the funds per se. One can merge, one can do a lot of other things. But like Sunil is saying, funds have their own expertise, and it's not something which they cannot do. And I do respect the fund management capability of the industry. And I'm pretty sure at the end of it, what will happen in the next 4 or 5 months will be pretty interesting to watch. Not only interesting to watch, but will also showcase the industry fund management talent to its fore. But at the end of it, I am definitely sure what will emerge after it all settles down, say in Jan and Feb, when all the portfolios are out, the case for a true-blooded multi-cap fund will emerge. Please understand, the name is multi-cap. The main name is not diversified or flexi-cap. If it is multi-cap, then between large and mid and small, all the categories or the capitalizations have to be represented. Yes, there could be some changes in some of the large funds. Some of the large funds may not want to change it at all. I would really wait and watch and see what happens in the industry. And I'm pretty sure that the talent that the industry has on the fund management side will see to it that the investors go through it in a soft landing process. And by the end of February, what will emerge finally will be a good multi-cap category, which was needed in the industry.
Sunil, what are you planning to do with the funds? Merge them, or you will keep your multi-cap fund category independent and change change the weightages?
See, in our case, Nikunj, it was a recent launch about 6 months ago, and it's garnered good traction. It's already got to 600 crores in size. And so what we are doing is to basically seek key partners who helped distribute the fund and speak to them, and where they have sold it as a positioning. Now, if they've sold it as a positioning as a true multi-cap, I see no need to change. However, if they say, no, it is a large cap component of your fund, and we are at more than 75% large cap in it currently, if they tell us, no, we sold this on that percent, then we will look at, we already have a large and mid-cap fund, which is a 4-star value research fund, excellent performance. So we can look at a merger there, or into our, we have just launching this later this week, a blue chip large cap fund. So options are many. But I think what we will do is we'll go by the people, because these are very recent investors, right? If I do any merger or something, there might be exit loads at play. So I will consult with them and then take a decision. As a fund management team, we are comfortable with managing a true multi-cap, because our strength and expertise is in the mid and small cap segment, and we have a very good stock picking identified that, which we use in other portfolio for us to add to this. So there's no paucity of that. And given the smaller size relatively, it should not be a problem to continue to manage it as multi-cap, provided the bulk of our advisors say that they are comfortable. So I think it's essentially a response to our investor stroke advisor base that we will react to that. Fund management wise, we are very comfortable with managing it either way.
All right, great. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us this morning on that. We also spoke with Madhu Kela on this, on a special multi-cap show, got his insights as well. Listen into an excerpt of that conversation.
When we look at a large cap company, it's easy to invest money. There are so many gems which are hidden, where there is a real compelling business fundamentals. But because the whole market got polarized, only buying the top 50 companies, those companies are not getting valuation. Who is there to say that there is no value or there are no gems in small and mid-sized companies? There are a lot of companies which have a tremendous amount of value. And as you rightly put, I've been investing money in mid-sized companies. So I can tell you with confidence that there is a lot of value in that space, and such a move will help recognize the value of these enterprises. And let's not forget, Nikunj, India is a very enterprising country. When entrepreneurs were running unlisted companies, and when they realize that they can actually get true value for their asset in a listed format, a lot of beautiful companies will start to get listed because there will be valuation. See, what has happened in the last 2 years, the markets have got so polarized. These are only 25, 30, 40 companies wherein 90% or 80% of the mutual fund asset is being parked in.